Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is Saturday, the 27th of September, and what a day in Premier League. What a day in Premier League. Liverpool lose to Crystal Palace, which puts extra pressure on Arsenal, puts extra pressure on Arteta for tomorrow to go out and win tomorrow because Liverpool lost 3 points today. It means we must gain 3 points to make it a 2-point gap. Let's be real. There are no excuses, no way back, no stepping back. It's all or nothing to a certain extent. Let's be real, because since Liverpool have lost and Arsenal also tomorrow manage to drop points, to lose, to do anything, we are done. Even more than before. Let's be real. We are done than we were more than before. Let's be real. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about the added pressure. We're going to talk about the Premier League, Arsenal, and all that good stuff. So smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new around here, of course. And leave your thoughts down in the live chat, people. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Obviously, today, I was talking to some people. I was hoping some people would come on today's stream. So far, haven't heard from them back, so we'll see. Maybe during the stream, someone will jump on, of course. But yeah, well, as I to start Newcastle game, absolutely 3 points game. Yeah, it's absolutely 3 points tomorrow. No questions, no excuses, no nothing. But will as I start tomorrow, I kind of don't see it. Unfortunately, I kind of don't see it that Arsenal gonna start as I tomorrow. Maybe left wing. But as a number 10, definitely not. I don't see it. Big up, Andrew. Pretty crispy start of the weekend. Yeah, that's it. Jamal, some are in the bin. Yeah, Liverpool lost, Chelsea lost, United lost, everyone lost. The Spurs are playing in an hour. We'll see how that's going to go, of course. Spurs are playing in an hour. And City obviously won 5-1 against Burnley, so they actually are in the positions. Let's just put it that way. So it's going to be interesting, definitely. It's going to be interesting because Premier League table at the moment is a wild place. It really, really, really is a wild place, especially if Sunderland, who are 1-0 up at the moment against Nottingham Forest at Forest Park, are winning. If they win the game today and the game is ending in about, I would say, 20 minutes, including added time, it could be very nuts table before Arsenal kick off the game against Newcastle away. Shameless. Well, I'm not sorry. I just can't pass our rivals, not hit the health. Yeah, exactly. For me as well. Eddie Nketiah, your defense is in trouble with Nketiah in the room. Of course, we all know that, people. Eddie, the best striker Arsenal have ever seen, the double agent we have sold to Crystal Palace and everything. Always have rated him. Always I have rated Eddie Nketiah. Such a shame we sold him. Big up names. Hope you're doing well. I need a Red Bull, dude. Good. Big up Wahaha. Commiserations for your loss today. It was embarrassing to say the least. Big up PW. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Sorry, I don't see you asking for someone to jump on. I saw. I put it in the chat yesterday. I put it in the chat today as well. Nobody has responded as of yet. Big up abs. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. As always, invitation stands. If you want to come on, just shout me on WhatsApp or whatever. 5-2 Atletico. Yeah. Atletico Madrid also annihilated Real Madrid today, 5-2, which was kind of insane to see. And it's actually quite nice to see, to be honest, as well. People are hating on views. Trust me, people are hating on everyone as long as they're Arteta out. As soon as you're on Arteta out, the rest of the fan base who are not Arteta out, you are in for it. You are done for, and you're absolutely getting done in instantly without shadow of a doubt, without questions asked. I expected it. Knew nothing would change. Yeah, but yeah, United are a mess at the moment. When something is gonna change for you a lot as well, that is the big question. Because if I was a manager, right? If I was a manager, I would not go to Manchester United whatsoever. There is no upside in going into Manchester United unless you can turn it around. And we have seen that more and more managers come and more they get ruined, their careers get ruined, and more players get ruined. So I don't see any incentive, unless you get massive amounts of pay, to deal with basically bullshit for about a year or so until you get sacked and you get a nice payout as well, to go to Manchester United. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, 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 very sorry, Wakaha, but it is what it is. You meant Wirtz, yeah. 007 and all that stuff, of course. Big up AFC always. Big up. Can't believe you slept in for 17 hours. You didn't bite out apple from a top Gooner. We saw what happened. Snow White. Nah. I went to bed at 2 a.m. right, or 3 a.m. something like that, and I woke up almost at 6 p.m. Seriously, I don't know what it was, but I absolutely was knackered during the week. And today I woke up at 6 p.m. It was insane, to be honest. For me personally, it was insane. I never sleep that much. Worst case scenario, I sleep to about 7-8 hours. Worst case. Best case scenario. Worst case, about 5 at best. I think maybe my body had enough and it needed some sleep. Let's be real. Maybe my body needed some sleep in those terms. But yeah, at the moment, the Premier League table is looking kind of wild. I'm not going to lie. The Premier League table is looking kind of wild, if you ask me, because if you look at this table, people, obviously it's updated with the live situation going on. If Sunderland managed to win against Nottingham Forest, which game is actually happening right now, it's actually looking hella peakums. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking hella peak. Crystal Palace are second, Sunderland would be third, Bournemouth would be fourth, Man City fifth. And if Arsenal lose tomorrow, by the way, we can drop below Spurs. Obviously, Spurs play in less than an hour, right? But yeah, it's actually looking kind of wild. It's actually looking wild. Arsenal, if they don't manage to win tomorrow somehow, it's going to be peakums. We are 5 points behind Liverpool. And this is one of the biggest things about Arsenal in general. When our opposition drops points and we have a good chance to pounce up on them, gain some momentum, close the gap, and do all that good stuff, we never do. We actually do the same thing our opponent does. Best case scenario, we get a draw and close the gap by 1 point. That is the biggest issue regarding Arsenal when we speak on it. So it's actually insane if you come to think of it. That's the insane thing. But yeah, look, if Arsenal draw tomorrow, we will be in top 4. Unless Spurs win today, obviously, against relegation candidates Wolves, right? If Arsenal lose tomorrow, well, we're going to drop even lower, which is actually even more nuts to think about. Because 6 games in, we already have 1 draw, 1 loss. I'm not going to lie, if you want to win the league, you literally, worst case scenario, 4 losses, 2 draws, something like that. Something like you can lose about what the maximum amount of points is 114 points you can get from the league, right? 90, 24. Yeah, 114 points. You need to get about 90 to kind of try and to be in a very good position to win the league, 90 points. So you can drop 24 points. It's not big of a gap, is it? It's not big of a gap to drop points in terms of if you are challenging for the title. And Arsenal already have dropped 5 points of the 20, so we have 19 still left, technically speaking, right? Which is definitely not a good look. 19 points, and we still have 33 games to go. It is very, very ropey at the moment. Very ropey at the moment, to say the least. I'm not gonna lie. We discussed this. Sunderland is most likely to stay up. Yeah, they will fall off, but I don't see Burnley staying whilst Leeds can scrape it. Yeah, Leeds I think will scrape it. Sunderland most likely are gonna stay up by the looks of things. Burnley are the one that, it's gonna be a rough one for them. Yeah, people, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, Sunderland currently, solely based on the fact that they are still beating Nottingham Forest 1-0, are third in the table. It's actually insane if you come to think of it. It's actually insane. I can see Arsenal draw. Well, the nuts part is Arsenal draw tomorrow. From my point of view, I can see it as the best case scenario. Unfortunately, I don't see us winning. Last three times we have traveled. Last 3 games we haven't scored. Last 3 times we have traveled to St. James's. It's been very ugly. We don't score goals. We have had about 2, 3, maybe 4 shots on target in the last 3 games at St. James Park. They know how to shut us down. Eddie Howe has Arteta's number to the maximum extent, and it's not looking good, is it? It definitely is not looking good. Wolves are that bad. Yeah, if you look at Wolves, by the way. Wolves are last in the league. 5 games, 5 losses, -9 goal difference. It's actually kind of insane if you come to think of it. It's actually kind of wild. What a phenomenal job Glasner is doing. Imagine what Glasner would do with Arsenal. Yeah, I would take Glasner at Arsenal without shadow of a doubt. I would take Glasner at Arsenal without shadow of a doubt. Glasner has beaten Liverpool 2 times in a row in span of 1.5 months in Community Shield and in the league. And I'm not gonna lie, Crystal Palace should have won that game today about 5-1, 5-2, 5-0 even, if they got a bit more lucky. Like they were all over them. If Mateta was on fire, unfortunately he didn't score, but he had a very good game as well. And of course, King of Zamunda finishes the job. Of course, Brother Arteta loves his fridges, dude. Yeah, I'm Merino tomorrow in the midfield. I'm already dreading that. Can we mention that that Salah handball? Yeah, it's nuts. It was nuts. I was looking at it. It was it. It wasn't like it's weird. I'm not gonna get too much into it because we all know that the referees in Premier League are well shit. Let's be real. The calls go either way. Everyone gets the calls either for them or against them. But for top Gooners, already the excuses were there that Liverpool managed to get a point on even if they won just because they didn't get the handball. But they forget that we, for example, don't get some calls regarding the same thing because, for example, Odegaard was holding his hand on the ball, literally doing spinneroonie on the edge of our own box when we were at Anfield, and that didn't get called. Like the calls go either way. I'm not here to moan about the refs and talk about the refs unless it's genuinely despicable because it happens to everyone. Sometimes it feels like it happens more to some teams than the others, but overall, it's actually insane. Big up, William. Big up, William. Hope you're doing well. If we fail to take advantage of Liverpool's loss, I'll be really pissed off. Same. I will be pissed off to the maximum extent. We must win. Small margins can make a big difference. We must win. Because if we are the team that Arteta wants us to make us to believe, the top Gooners are saying we are, that we are one of the main, the title contenders, we should be winning the league. Tomorrow's game should be a must-win, and we should be winning tomorrow's game. Because if you want to win the league, you must capitalize to maximum extent on your main rivals' mistakes and downfalls. Yes, today Liverpool had a downfall. They had a mistake. They had an issue. They lost to Crystal Palace 2-1. And for me personally, if we want to win the league, we must beat tomorrow Newcastle. We must break the pattern against Newcastle. But it's a very tough task, for example, for me, because in the last 6 games against Newcastle in general, in all competitions, we have won 2 and lost 4. Already only 33% win rate, which is very, very damning. There were no draws in the last 6 games as well. It's a very, very dark stat to look at in general. We haven't scored 3 times in a row at St. James Park. It gets even worse from that point of view. And having 4 or 5 at best shots on target in those 3 games at St. James Park, it's even worse. So technically speaking, all the things in one way, shape, or form are against Arsenal, if you want to put it that way. Like, that is the nuts part. People have this chest saying, oh, we're going to smash Newcastle 3-0. We're going to smash Newcastle 4-1 and all that. They had the same energy against Manchester United away in the first game week. Oh, we're going to smash United 4-0, 3-0. The last time we scored 3 goals at Old Trafford was in 1972 or 76, something like that. It's been 40 years nearly. No, 50 years nearly. I don't know where the chest was coming from. The same was against Liverpool. Oh, we're going to smash Liverpool. You can get at them. We're going to smash them for 3-1, 3-0, all this stuff. And we lost the game. And this is all down to Mikel Arteta with putting up Merino, Zubimendi, Rice midfield with no attacking creativity, no forward-thinking mindset, no nothing. It just pretty much, tomorrow when the starting 11 drops, we're going to see what is Mikel Arteta's intention for the game. Is he going there to get a point? Or is he actually going to go there to pounce on their mistakes, to pounce and try to close the gap to Liverpool? Because we have had this already 2 times this season, and we have dropped points in both occasions. It's been very ugly and very, very not pretty to watch. And we all know that this is, as you say here, William, it's small margins. One of the small margins is the starting 11. Next small margins, the way we're going to play. Arteta is going to pick the team. Will players follow Mikel Arteta's plan, or they're gonna do it on their own? Obviously, they're gonna follow the Arteta's plan, and we have seen that Mikel Arteta's plan at St. James Park doesn't work. We need, as we all talk about what has been one of the hottest talking points this week specifically, is that Mikel Arteta needs to let go of the handbrake, right? To try to blitz teams, get closer to the opposition. And he doesn't do that. He sticks to the same place, the same way, same style, same system all the goddamn time with no changes, no adjustments, no improvements whatsoever. And that is one of the biggest downfalls for this manager, being stubborn, as Rich says, stubborn, smug prick. Because he thinks it's his way is the right way. It's his way or the highway. And when you close every single way in terms of thinking just to one direction, you are set up for disaster, because you are not open for a change. You are not open for improvements. You are not open to new ideas. You pretty much are done for. Because if you set up to do some sort of a project, right, and you only think that you are right, your assistants are always wrong, you are not ready to, for example, to basically rip it all up and maybe try something different. It's never going to happen for you, because doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results is the definition of insanity. And unfortunately, under Mikel Arteta, that is the case. And people say that Mikel Arteta came into Arsenal to fix the mess we were in, right? People argue we were not in a mess, right? Mikel Arteta has done some good things as well at Arsenal. Let's not kid ourselves. Credit where credit is due. He has done some great things. But at the moment, it has come to a point where Mikel Arteta came in to fix a mess. But at the moment, to a very big extent, the mess that we need to fix is Mikel Arteta. He has become the mess that needs to be fixed. Different manager, new ideas on the board, new voice in the dressing room, everything. Mikel Arteta has become that issue. Unfortunately, that is the case at the moment. That's what we are looking at. Arteta playing 10, yeah, we won't win. It's not the first time we failed to advantage Liverpool points loss. Well, last year we had the same with with Liverpool as well. Let's be real. But yeah, forget about fridging top Gooner's job. It would be unfair towards Palace with the amount of chances they created. We are getting smoked by Palace ourselves, dude. I'm not looking forward to playing at Selhurst Park whatsoever. It's gonna be a very rough watch. Exactly. It's all or nothing right now. It's all or nothing. It seems very preposterous and insane to say with only, well, after tomorrow, 6 games into the season. But it already is showing the pattern, the way, the style, the road we are on, and where it could lead us. And we saw that last year. We saw that year before. And we have seen it through the course of the last, more specifically, 2 years, where this road has led us. And so far, there have been no improvements, no adjustments, and no changes. So basically, it's a new season, but we are back on the same road, and we know where it's going to lead us based on the last 2 seasons. And definitely, it's not a good road. It's a very painful and very, 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 very dark road. Let's just put it that way. I want to know what's up Gooner smoking, dude. Go ask them. Go ask them. Big up BBK. Big up BBK. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Elite stream today as well. Much love, my guy. Hope recovery is going well for you as well. If you're open, you can jump on. Just shout me on WhatsApp as well. If you have time, you can jump on as well, people. My man. Yeah, people, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Sorry, BBK, that Matteo dude pissed me off earlier. Such a speech about good thing I've never heard of 1,000 times before. Like, that is the nuts part. People don't realize this. Like, do you think, for example, me as a person, do you think I love to sit here and repeat myself on a weekly basis? Or almost, you can say, daily basis? Do you think I like to do that? No, I don't. Nobody likes to hear the same thing over and over and over and over again. But the sad part is, nothing is changing. There is nothing new we can say. Because Mikel Arteta doesn't learn from his mistakes. He makes the same mistakes. And that is the issue why we are here and saying the same things over and over and over again. Like, give us a reason to say something else. Give us a reason to change our minds. Give us a reason to maybe take a step back and reflect on certain things. But so far, there has been none of that. It's been the same thing, same road down the dark hole, pause, and everything. So, yeah, it's actually kind of insane if you come to think of it. You don't get a trophy for second place. Some of our fans need to remember that. Exactly. It's not the Olympics. At least in the Olympics, you get medal for second place. In Champions League, you get medal for second place. In World Cup, you do that. But at the end of the day, second place just means you're the first loser, right? Some people remember, for example, since Champions League, okay, maybe is a big competition. World Cup happens once every 4 years. Maybe then you remember who played in the final. Hence, you remember the second place. Premier League happens every single year. And nobody, unless you are basically learning everything on purpose by default, nobody remembers, like, just say, 2013, second, third place in the league. Because nobody cares. In the book, in the Premier League scrapbook, on the paper, in the stats, only things that are going to be written there. Champion, United, or City, Chelsea, Liverpool, whoever. Top goal scorer, whoever, I don't know, Haaland, Aguero, Van Persie, Ben Rooney, whoever, Kane, whatsoever. Nobody writes second best goal scorer, second place, second closest to this, second closest to that, most draws during the season. Nobody writes this stuff up. Everyone cares only about the team that finishes first and does it the best at the end of the day. And people need to remember that. People need to realize that as well, because otherwise nothing is going to change. When I just became an Arsenal fan, second place felt like it was pretty much finishing 10th. It was stab in the back, stab in the heart, pretty much. It was painful. I was distraught, pissed off, on verge of crying as well, even to a certain extent. Let's be real. But now the second place gets celebrated like it's Christmas. Like, seriously, like it's New Year. Yes, we finished second. Come on, and everything. Where does that make sense? Finishing without trophies meant that managers get sacked. There's extra pressure on them. Managers go 1-2 seasons without trophies, they're gone. At Arsenal, it's somehow different. The more you are trophyless, the longer you stay, by the looks of Mikel Arteta. Like, that also doesn't compute with me personally. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up for me at the end of the day. And by the way, people, it's the added time in Nottingham Forest versus Sunderland game, right? And Sunderland still haven't conceded, because this thing where Sunderland are third is live. It's live table from the results. Ange Postecoglou might not win 5 games in a row whilst becoming the manager of Nottingham Forest. How nuts is that? Think about it. How nuts is that? He lost to Swansea. He drew and lost in the league. He drew to Real Betis in Europa League, and now he's going to lose to Sunderland at home, by the way. Ange Postecoglou. But he always wins in the second season. I hear Arsenal fans say the same thing every day. Exactly. Like, nothing is changing. The certain part of fan base says the same thing on the positive side. Other part of the fan base says the same thing on the Arteta outside. Like, nothing has changed. And whenever these opinions clash, very rarely you get actually very constructive, very calm and level-headed arguments or discussions. Very rarely, because as soon as one of the sides put their foot down and somebody hits them with facts, insults come out, head loss comes out, and you can never have like serious and open discussion about these things. Let's just put it that way. And at the end of the day, it's never like agree to disagree to certain situations. You have your point of view, I respect it. I have my point of view, you respect that as well. It always ends up with some sort of a disaster. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Reese Martins. You're becoming WhatsApp YouTuber now. You can pin your WhatsApp number if you want to, and if I want to. I'm not gonna pin my personal phone number. Definitely, I'm not gonna pin in the chat for people to see. That is something like definitely I'm not gonna do. At the end of the day, the way I see my phone number is the way, like, if you have my phone number, you're important to me and I trust you with it. If you don't have my phone number, there's no reason why. At the end of the day, let's just put it that way. I'm just a massive introvert, so I developed an inner me that Grillbot smoked about Arsenal myself, like an inner monologue. I just get bored when I hear the same thoughts that I had a while ago. I get it. I absolutely get it. I am also a massive introvert, by the way. It sounds very weird to say, but I am a massive introvert, which is very contradicting given that I'm here on the camera. I'm speaking to you all at the end of the day. I have no problem going up on a stage and talk in front of thousands of people because I have done it before without any repercussions, with no stress, no panic. But in real life, I am an introvert, no matter how you look at it, which is kind of insane, which is very, very insane. We'll need a strong ref tomorrow to stop us from being kicked off the pitch. Newcastle tactics against are always the same. Yes, they are, and they're going to be very physical, very rough. It's going to be a very rigid game at the end of the day. It's going to be very, very on the edge. I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think it's going to be more on the edge than ever before. For Arsenal, there is lots more riding on this game than anything. There's quite a bit of riding on this game than anything else. And nothing is going to change. For Arsenal, the pressure is on, and it's going to be kind of nuts. It's going to be nuts. So for Arsenal, there are only thing for Arsenal is to win tomorrow at the end of the day. Will they come out with such a mindset? Who knows? I think the starting 11, as I said, first things first, is going to show how Mikel Arteta sees this game. Because a few years ago, we also had this situation where Crystal Palace beat Liverpool. I think it was in 2024. And we had a game against Aston Villa. And then and Arteta decided to play Partey as a right back and all this stuff. So basically shot himself in the foot. We all know those things. Arteta has this thing in him where he does this unorthodox random thing where he thinks he looks like a genius. And if it works, he's going to get praised. But if it doesn't work, it's going to be the end of days for him at the end of the day. And let's be real. Most of the time when he does these weird shenanigans where he takes some sort of a risk or something unorthodox, bites him in the ass big time. It's most of the time it happens like that. And I won't be surprised if tomorrow the starting 11 comes out. I see Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Merino, Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Gyökeres, and Martinelli or Eze. One of the two. I won't be surprised because I think that is going to be the be-all, end-all. In these big games so far, whenever we have faced a massive, massive side or a game where we need some physicality and toughness in the midfield, we have gone with a midfield of Merino, Zubimendi, and Rice. It happened against City, happened against Liverpool, and it happened against Bilbao as well to a certain extent. So tomorrow it's the same type of game. Will Arteta go the same way? Remains to be seen. But I'm not going to lie, I am very, very, very worried about tomorrow. Starting 11 will set the tone and the expectations. And already I am dreading it, ironically enough. I am dreading it. And here it is. Since I know BBK posts this stuff in the group chat at times, but here it is, people. This is the predicted 11 from FOTMob for tomorrow's game. This is the predicted 11. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Merino, Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Gyökeres, and Eze. And as you can see, nothing has changed. It's the same 11 we have seen before in these bigger games. And this is the big thing. This is the big thing. That could be the case, and that means we are done for already if this is the starting 11. Because Merino technically is 6'2", 6'3". He should be physically strong. He should be this and that. He's slow. His turning radius is bigger than the triple-decker bus. And whenever somebody touches him, he falls to the ground instantly. Doesn't sound like a very physical type of midfielder to me. Declan Rice as well has been hit and miss this season so far. He looks gassed after 25-30 minutes already because he gets asked to do things he's not made for. He's a number 6/center back, even if you want to push it that way. But he's definitely not an 8. Mikel Arteta in the system is asking Rice to do things he is not equipped for, which is actually as well stifling and handcuffing our attack, which is putting a massive handbrake for the attack, which is kind of insane if you think about it. So yeah, big up Beggy. Big up Beggy. Hope you're doing well. And add rival fans to my workplace that constantly take a mick out of themselves. Also, the atmosphere is boiling. I don't blame you. It's obvious that Ange will fail in Forest. There would be a massive clash of heads, tactics, and philosophies. Oh, 100%. 100%. Exactly. Palace is the best team in England right now. At least that's what my dad says. Kind of hard to argue against that to a certain extent. Very hard to argue against that looking at what they're doing. Yes, Crystal Palace are second in the league. 3 wins, 3 draws. They still haven't lost a game in the league. They beat Liverpool for the Community Shield. Let's not forget that as well, people. They beat Liverpool for the Community Shield, which is actually kind of nuts if you think about it. And Crystal Palace are playing some very good football. Glasner is doing some wonderful job there. I'm not gonna lie, Glasner is doing a very good job there, which is very interesting to see how that is gonna develop. Definitely gonna be interesting to see how is that gonna develop for them in long term. How is it gonna develop them? They play Dynamo Kiev next week as well. They beat Millwall barely, but they did. They beat Aston Villa 3-0. They are on very good form, and table also shows that, second in the league. If I'm not mistaken, Crystal Palace haven't lost a game in the last 16 games. They literally haven't lost a game in the last 16 games, which is actually quite insane if you come to think of it. 16 games unbeaten for Crystal Palace. We need an early goal tomorrow. Yes, that would be the first thing. The issue with this is we know how Mikel Arteta thinks. If we score an early goal, we're going to sit back. We are not going to push for the second. We are not going to push for the third because that's what Mikel Arteta does. That's how he sets up the team. The times when we blitz teams, we score 3 quick goals, 2 quick goals, and then we try to invite the pressure so we can hit them on counters like we did in 22-23 season, is long gone. We score a goal and we instantly sit back. That is our Arsenal's and Arteta's MO right now. And unfortunately, it's doing more harm than good because if we don't score quickly, the bigger chance it gives for the opposing side to take something from us. It always gives us something else. Always gives a chance to the opposing side. The longer it stays 0-0. And the closer it comes to the end of the game and it stays 0-0, the bigger are the chances Arsenal are not going to win the game as well. The most ironic Arsenal thing will be we win tomorrow, but Fulham and West Ham, we get 1-2 points. That would be also very Arsenal-like. We somehow managed to beat Newcastle, and everyone would be over the moon because we haven't done it in 3 times going there in a row right now. And then again, we lose to West Ham at home. We have lost to West Ham at home 2 years on the trot. That is also not acceptable for a team that's going for a title. Losing against Arsenal's B team, aka Fulham, it's not going to be an easy game out there. It's definitely not going to be an easy game out there going away. If we look at Arsenal's schedule, right? Arsenal's schedule is not looking that, let's just put it that way. It's not looking that great. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see it a bit better, right? It's not looking that great in those terms. Look, we play Newcastle away. Then we have Olympiacos at home, West Ham at home, Fulham away, Atletico Madrid at home. They just beat Real Madrid 5-2. And then we have Crystal Palace at home. Do you think it's going to be easy to beat any of these teams? Oh, West Ham are shit. The Potter is doing useless job. Somehow they manage to turn up against us every single time. It's beyond disbelief. We are never going to sell handball. Yeah, it's insane. But hey, it's Premier League refs. They do that consistently, ironically enough. Palace are definitely a team to watch this season, 100%. Could Crystal Palace be dark horses for doing some madness somewhere this season? Like that also could be the case. Get Merino out of this first 11 and get Manieri Trossard. Yeah, tell that to Arteta because, for example, this predicted starting 11 is from FOTMob. FOTMob last week predicted the 11, and they were correct pretty much. They predicted that Merino is going to start against Liverpool. They were correct as well. So FOTMob low-key has it correctly. Maybe they know something that we don't regarding that Eze is not going to be in the 10. Odegaard is not ready to start in the 10. And to be honest, against Newcastle, Odegaard in the 10 is just as bad as Merino, pretty much. Let's be real. They're as bad as each other. Different reasons why, but they are just as bad as each other. Yeah, people. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Big up to you all. Play Eze in the 10. Drop Merino on the bench. Facts. Arteta will do that. Hopefully, that's the only hope that Arteta could do that. Big up Cooper. Big up Cooper. Big up Cooper. And I don't know who the TG is. Maybe you're talking about Josh, the true Gooner. Who knows? But big up to him as well. Big up true Gooner as well. Big up Umang. Big up Umang. Big up Umang. What do you think of Glasner for Arsenal's team? Right. I would take him in a heartbeat. I think he would be perfect fit. Yes, I would take Glasner in the heartbeat. Think about what Glasner could do with this defense, playing on counters with the attack and abilities we possess. And then think about the backing he would get from Andrea Berta and from the Kroenkes potentially. Think about all that. Even if he doesn't get a billion, but he gets half a billion, right? Over next 2-3 years. Think about what he potentially could do. Because Glazner has promoted Lusk from Austrian second league into first league. He has won Europa League, by the way, with Eintracht Frankfurt. He has won the FA Cup against Man City, and he has beaten Liverpool for Community Shield. And right now, 1.5 months later, 1 month later even, he has beaten Liverpool once again in the league. He has proven that he can do it. When when you apply a bit of pressure, we always ball it when it matters the most. Exactly, and that is the biggest worry. This week, mentality needs to change if we are to win trophies. Exactly. That is the biggest thing about our team. On paper, our team looks phenomenal. For me personally, this team should be winning stuff. This team is built for winning trophies. This team is built for playing attacking football. For me, that is going in without shadow of a doubt, right? The thing is, though, this team has not won anything collectively as a unit. This team even hasn't experienced losing the final collectively as a unit. So they don't know what it is like to win together, and they don't know what pain it causes to lose a final together. So they kind of are missing that one key ingredient, in my opinion, to know what it takes to get it over the line, because they don't have the success to drive them forward, and they don't have the feel of disappointment and failure as well to drive them forward. Because losing the league and finishing second and losing the trophy final, any final, is two complete different things, in my opinion. And I have been there. I have lost the league. I have lost the trophy. I have lost final games as well in the finals. And nothing has hurt more than knowing that you are this close to winning a trophy and you lose. And I have lost it on the final kick of the game, in the last minute of the game. I have lost it on penalty shootouts and everywhere. I know what it feels like. And that those losses in the final specifically have never motivated me more next year to come back stronger, to work harder in the off season, and to go next season and win and lead the team over the line. Every year that passes, Arteta is leaving the Harambe tyranny. He's leveling, he's leading, and he's bigging us up. I just thought the most ridiculous line of goalkeeper and defense, the same was on the screen. The Norgard, Zumendi, Wanjiri, Zemerino, Saka. Like, it's insane what we could do. You have decent defense and backup on the bench. Yeah, we have everything to do so. You would think that after spending about 400 million on defense, 400 million on the midfield, we would not be so worried about defending. They could stand on their own. We would not demand that our forwards track back to make them the best defensive forwards in the world, pretty much what it feels like, to actually get result, keep a clean sheet. Because as soon as we get the ball in the defense, most of the time, we have no outlets up front because all of our attackers are at the back on the edge of our box defending. We have no outlets, no nothing. And that is one of the biggest reasons why we cannot do anything on counters, why we are so lethargic and very slow in the counters. And if we get even through with the one outlet, Gyökeres or someone who's up front, he has nobody to play the ball to. So he has to hold on to the ball, pass it backwards, recycle the ball, and by the time we actually are in the shape to attack, all the defense of the opposing side is already in the place. There are no gaps to exploit. There are no open spaces. And we start to pass it backwards, forward, and recycle the ball and hope we get a corner, a random cross, or something like that. You're in the wrong chat, mate. This is Arsenal chat, not Liverpool chat. But Liverpool lost, yeah. Anyone have faith in this manager? Nope, not me. Let the players play. Exactly. I'm just wondering, will there be a point where players start to low-key rebel against the manager? Because we already saw how Declan Rice did that against Real Madrid. Because Arteta said him to cross it, Jover said him to cross it, Odegaard even said him to cross it. Declan Rice looked at them, he looked at Saka and said to Saka that, I think I'm going to go for it. I feel very good about this. Saka said, if you feel like it, go for it. And it basically created two moments of brilliance, which was ultimately the reason why we beat Real Madrid over two legs at the end of the day. Let's be real. So the question is, how long will players stand for this? And will there be a time when there will be disagreements in the dressing room, arguments in the dressing room? Will there be a point where players basically do a mutiny against the manager? Will there be something like that? Because how long will this last? We have seen in interviews that our players, not directly, but indirectly also, throw shots at the manager. Mika, for example, Saka has said that Arteta wants his attackers to defend first, although he enjoys attacking obviously 10 times more. We have seen Zinchenko in the book and everything in interviews throw some shade at the manager. Jurien Timber has thrown some shade in the Dutch interview at Mikel Arteta. Gyökeres has done it when he received the Gerd Müller Best Striker in the World Award in the Ballon d'Or ceremony, saying that for him to succeed and for any striker to succeed, he needs a proper team around him who plays to his strengths, that gets him the ball, who gives him open spaces to run into and everything. And when there is a chance, the players find him, not just pass it backwards and play very slow, methodically. And it's more and more and more. It's slowly coming out. Yes, it's not directly. They don't say Arteta is this, Arteta is that. But there is definitely some subliminal messaging going on, and you have to read between the lines, but it's happening. It is happening on occasion, so definitely something is going on there. Big up Cooper. Smash the likes and subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Big up Ryan. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I have not been able to watch it well. Yeah, no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Thank you for being here today. Hopefully you're doing well today, my man. No way Arsenal will let Arteta go and buy a coach. Arteta definitely is not going to buy a coach. We'll let Arteta go and buy a coach. They have to. At some point, it has to happen, because let's just say it's December and we are 10 points behind Liverpool or whoever is first, right? Do you think Arteta stays? Do you think they're going to basically make Arteta to see out the rest of the season, so then at the end of the season, they have to pay him off less than they should be paying in the first place? Because the payouts and the bonuses when you terminate the contract technically could be bigger than letting the manager to end the season and they just in the last year of the contract just bin him off. There could be also that. Maybe they're thinking about financial aspect, but then again, you have blown insane amounts of money on players like Havertz, players like Norgard, Fabio Vieira, Pablo Mari, Marquinhos, Cedric Soares, even though he was free, but still you have to pay for him, Calafiori, Merino, and all these. But at some point, you have to cut your losses if you want to move forwards. At some point, it has to happen. I want Glasner. I wouldn't say no to Glasner. Bring him to the carpet, 100%. The arrival of Berta just being engaged more and Arteta cracking at interviews shows that there is massive pressure to win silver this season. If not, Arteta goes. Hopefully that is the case, because I think Andrea Berta as well already has few names on his list of managers, which he's just waiting for the most opportunistic moment to basically call Josh, knock on his door and say, well, as you can see, we are not doing that great in the league and everything. And already I have been working, I've been throwing some, I've been fishing around, and I have found some names who would be willing to join Arsenal, more potentially even right now, if you let Arteta go right this second, mid-season. And he hands Josh the list, and they have a discussion, a meeting, and they discuss it over. I would not be surprised that Andrea Berta already has a list. Maybe it's not a complete list, but I would expect that there already are, I would say, about 3-4 names already on the list. I would expect that. I would definitely expect that. I take it all. I prefer Glasner to Iriol, personally. Arteta must be leaving if everyone is signing new deals. I think that could be the case. I think that is also one of the things that Andrea Berta is including in the negotiations. Like, be patient with us. Arteta is going very soon, because it doesn't look like he wants to win anything. The way you play, I realize it is frustrating. It's not going to your way. His time will come sooner rather than later. Just sign, and trust me, we're going to get things moving very soon. Wouldn't be surprised about that. Yeah, people, big up, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 20 of you in here. If we can push it up to 20 likes as well, we'll be forever grateful. Big up you all. Glasner has one more and has a really good system than Iriola, but I would still take him. Yeah, I get it. Glasner has won Europa League. Glasner has won, well, FA Cup and Community Shield, pretty much the same amount as Mikel Arteta. So and he plays better football. He has better system in place. And to think about what Glasner could do specifically with this team, he would know how to use actually Gyökeres, and he would know how to actually use what's its face Eze, for example. And if you add Saka to the equation and players like that, I think Glasner would be on fire. Did someone not an Arsenal fan? Big up AJ. Big up AJ. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. The way Arteta thinks about Merino is a 9 in midfield. Basically, because we have seen Merino from a number 9 position drop into number 6 to get the ball to start the attacks. We saw that against Port Vale, I think it was as well. People, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Even big up everyone. Sacking for Glasner, thank you. See, AJ as well is already there for the longest time. I think he gets sacked the moment he lost to Brighton in the League Cup. Maybe. Like Brighton have absolutely blitzed everyone in Carabao Cup, by the way. 5-0, 2 times 6-0. They have blitzed 2 teams. If Arsenal get blitzed or they lose to Brighton, and specifically given that this home is at Emirates, by the way, yeah, Arteta might be numbered. Especially last year, he didn't do that well against Brighton at home as well. Where would Arteta go? Who cares? That would be the first answer. But if we talk serious here, most likely back to Spain, to La Liga, unless like Nottingham Forest would want to take him. But I don't think Edu will want to work with Arteta though. He can go to United. I know United fans wouldn't take him whatsoever. But from what I have seen, no team fans would be open to taking Mikel Arteta. I have seen Portsmouth fans saying no, Reading fans saying no, Elche, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, of course. And then they come the smaller teams like Sevilla, Valencia, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, of course. I haven't seen a team fan base of a team who would say yes to Mikel Arteta. Haven't seen one yet. That is actually quite impressive, unless it's Arsenal fan base, the part that are Arteta-ins, of course. Big up Most Wanted. Hope you're doing well. I feel like we go into games as cowards, play not to lose. Yes, we do that. That pretty much is very good. That's what happened against Liverpool, against City, and we might see that tomorrow again. Don't worry, people. You don't be surprised if that happens. I told you Palace will win today, and it will be Arsenal to drop points to our rivals for the Premier League drop points, and it's Arteta's DNA. Yeah. Yep. I really hope Arteta proves us wrong, but whenever going gets tough, Arsenal crumble. Whenever there's a chance for Arsenal to close the gap to the team that's in front of them, Arsenal drop the ball. And it has been like that for the longest time. And nothing has changed since. Man, your content's quality. The subs are definitely going to grow. Keep it flowing. Big up, Booman. Big up. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for being here and listening to my sorry ass on this Saturday evening. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Ryan Glasner wins. Iriola doesn't begin. No, that is the case. Well, Iriola has won the Cyprus League, I think it is. The mathematical problem with that is that you can draw 2 games and still get less points than 1 win. Yes, exactly. And Arteta doesn't. I don't think Arteta knows how math works. For Arteta, 2 draws are better than a win and a loss. But win and a loss gives you more points than 2 draws. So 3 is bigger than 2. At least that's what I got taught in math. But I don't know how Arteta has figured that one out. To be honest, the same manager is saying that Arsenal have mustered the most amount of points in the last 3 seasons, despite the fact that City have mustered by 4 points more. So I don't think the math is mathing. I think math might not be his strong suit. The list I think he has is Glasner, Simeone, Seskens, and someone else. Might be. I think Simeone and Glasner would be nearly top of that 100% based on these recent ones. If Arsenal play in Palace formation, it can go well. If Arsenal, you're talking about Mikel Arteta, right? Who said in an interview a few days ago that he doesn't understand the outrage from the fan base and he doesn't know what we are talking about. Pretty much he said that. Glasner, René Slegas. Interesting, yeah. AJ is a big advocate for René Slegas being Arsenal manager. I wouldn't jump the gun on that one, to be honest. But yeah, you cannot say that she hasn't achieved more than Mikel Arteta already. Today doesn't matter. 2-0 Newcastle incoming, and Mikel Arteta's number. And that is the biggest worry. We haven't scored a goal at St. James Park 3 times in a row. We have had 4 shots on target in 3 years. In 3 years at St. James Park. And the last 2 games we've played, it's been 2-0 in the Cups. In the last 6 games against Newcastle, we have won 2 and lost 4. So it's definitely not looking well. That's why we tied him down with a 15 mil contract. He's super immortal. Oh, I can't do that. See. Your conscience is not allowing you to do that. I know the football will be atrocious tomorrow with our midfield, but at least get 1-0 to catch up a bit. And yeah, that is the biggest thing. One thing you can, no matter you like it or not, you can praise Arsenal for is how rigid and how solid our defense is, right? It's very strong and it's very sustainable long term, and it has not presented us with issues over the last few seasons, hence the best defense in the league, Raya Golden Gloves and all that crap, right? At the same time, this defense means nothing if we don't score goals. And so far, scoring goals is the biggest worry. Yes, Arsenal technically have scored 10 goals in the league in 5 games. 10 goals, it's 2 on average, which sounds somewhat decent. But let's not forget, we scored 5 against Leeds, 3 against Forest, 1 against United, and stuff like that. We didn't score against Newcastle. Against Liverpool and stuff like it. The games where it matters the most, we don't score many goals, and that is a big worry. Yeah, people, 16 likes, big up to you all. Like and subscribe. Big up, brothers. At the moment, it's getting quite chilly. I'm not gonna lie, because obviously autumn is here, winter is coming. During the days, at the moment, luckily there is no rain. It's very nice. It's about 12 degrees on average outside. It's very nice, very like calming and very relaxing atmosphere around in the nature. If you go to the nature, if you go to city, it's a bit hectic because all the people, cars, and all that crap. But overall, yeah, it's very nice. If you want to travel here, I would recommend summer and go sightseeing across the country because there are very historical monuments and everything. If you want to go to the city, to the capital or something like that, right now is good. If you want to go to Sigulda because it's autumn and there is the infamous golden leaf fall in Sigulda every autumn because there are national parks, and it literally feels like, you know, with the yellow leaves on the trees that they're falling down as autumn is ending and it's mid-autumn. It feels like literally like gold is falling down. If you want to see this, basically, it looks like this. If you're interested, right? This is in Sigulda in autumn. This is how autumn looks in Sigulda, basically. Like this. It looks phenomenal, to be honest. You would think that these images are AI generated, but none of them are. These are literally live taken images from the city and everything surrounding it. It's actually phenomenal. They are not touched up by anything. No Photoshops, no nothing. This is how it looks actually in real life. I've been there multiple times and it's breathtaking to look at. I'm not gonna lie. There is also, where was it? In this image here, you have the air tram that goes across the big canyon. You can see everything from the top. It looks spectacular, to say the least. It genuinely looks spectacular. The golden leaf fall here is actually fantastic to see, to be honest. Simeone is anti. Nah, he's not. He just beat Real Madrid 5-2. Like, he's not anti-football. The perception of Diego Simeone being anti-football is also very misleading, because he has actually evolved. He's actually playing some very good attacking football. He plays defensive because he has the players to do so as well. For example, he can play 5-4-1 in the defense as well. At the same time, he kind of utilizes something very similar in the attack, where when he plays 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, 5 attackers. He does it both ways, and somehow it's actually working very nicely. The only time he played 5 at the back when he won the FA Cup, yes. And he has never turned it back since. That's the nuts part. Big up Nasir. Big up Nasir. Glasner is class. Yes, Glasner is. Arteta has definitely shown that he can play attacking football. Yeah, once. One season was a fluke and where has the player gone? Exactly. Arteta has shown that he can play attacking football in 22-23 season and in the second part of 23-24 season. But he has been so damaged, such big scars from balling the 8-point lead, not catching up and losing by 2 points with this attacking football, that he totally has turned his back on it. And it doesn't look like he wants to return back to it ever since. Like, that is the biggest worry. The biggest worry. Simeone at least is an outlet player, scores goals and creates. Arteta wants to defend with everyone behind the ball for 90 minutes. Yes. Eastern Europe is great to visit midsummer, autumn. Yes, it is beautiful. I've traveled across Europe over the years, and usually midsummer and till mid-late autumn, depending on where you go, it's really phenomenal. Especially if you go to the older places where they're like castles and stuff like that, or maybe older castles, yes, who are big deteriorated and all this stuff, but it's surrounded by the forests, by meadows and everything like that. It is actually hell beautiful. And even in the evening when, for example, the sun is setting and it kind of shines all over it, it's spectacular. You can go to caves and everything. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. For example, in my country, Latvia, we have the widest waterfall in Europe, right? Widest waterfall in Europe as well. Like, it's also nice to see, and it's great. It's great. You guys think Lamberto was brought in to replace Arteta? Berta got an Arteta cold shoulder is very noticeable. Yeah, it could be the case. Arteta is very displeased with this coming in because there is clash of opinions and there is someone with the backbone for a change in the team. And Arteta doesn't like that because Arteta was surrounded by yes men most of the time. Andrea Berta is no yes man. He's going to tell you as it is and say it to your face. He's an Italian badass, and that is the case. The only thing Arteta managed to do is not to concede 3 since Luton. Yeah. Well, if you don't count Villarreal Emirates Cup game where we conceded 3, yes. Thanks. We'll check it out, definitely. You can Google it a bit more. Look at Liepaja, Ventspils, Kuldiga, definitely. There in Kuldiga, there is the widest waterfall in Europe and everything and all this stuff. Yeah, definitely. Check it out. Check it out. If you go to Latgala, it's known as the lake country pretty much because it has the most amount of lakes in Baltics and everything. Very beautiful as well. Like, in every place where you go, there's something to see. It looks like upstate New York. That's where I live, bro. I live here for free pretty much. I don't pay about 55 million to rent an apartment like you do, to be honest. He might be brought here to Kronk the front. Yeah. Big up Eros. Benteke music in the building. Big up Eros. Hope you're doing well. Are you well, Ren? Yeah, 17 hours of sleep does that to you, to be honest. 17 hours of sleep. Somehow managed to sleep throughout the whole day. Like, I'm kind of pissed off about it, but hey, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, I slept quite a bit. Today went to bed at 2 a.m., woke up at 6 p.m. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but hey ho. Now he can ball it because he can't get first place. He can't ball it because he can't get to first place at this point. Well, he cannot win. He can basically minimize the gap to 2 points by winning tomorrow. And that would definitely lift up the spirits of the whole fan base. No matter how you look at it, whether you're Arteta in or you're Arteta out. If Arsenal win tomorrow, it's going to lift the spirits of the team and it's going to lift the spirits of the fan base. Let's be real, because it's only going to be 2 points. Then again, if we lose, it's going to get even more toxic than before, just so for the douche reason that Liverpool screwed up and we didn't capitalize. Because we have seen Arsenal not capitalize on Liverpool screwing up or City screwing up years before. And whenever we had a golden opportunity to do it, we have always managed to screw it all up, shoot ourselves in the foot, and make the gap even bigger or leaving it the same. Or even when we actually when we capitalize, we don't win. We actually just draw a game and close the gap by 1 point, which it does no good at the end of the day, because for Arsenal, that's the main thing. When the pressure is on, even if we do good and we manage to capitalize, the next game we drop the ball. And mostly we capitalize on the harder game, and then an easier opponent comes and tends to be at home or away, and we always screw it up against it. 2 years in a row against West Ham at home, against Everton away, against Burnley, Southampton, West Ham, again against Bournemouth, Fulham. Just pick your poison. They're all over the place there. If we lose tomorrow, Josh should fly Arteta out to Spain on non-stop. He didn't compare the Merino. Yeah, just send them out there and leave them there. Yeah. Liverpool look vulnerable too and see they are building, but can we capitalize? Exactly. That is the thing. I notice how you're saying is Liverpool look vulnerable. What did we do against Liverpool? We parked the bus and prayed for a draw. City are building. Yes, we could. And there's no argument that Liverpool could be gone at Anfield. Nobody can deny it. City can be gone because they're not great. Spurs beat them. Brighton beat them. Arsenal, again, they go park the bus and pray for the best. We nearly lost that game as well. We just got lucky. Like, that is the thing. We had two big opportunities to make the best out of it, to win it, and we just didn't. We just basically went in our shells and prayed for a draw. Big up Fusion is no jazz. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Last time Liverpool lost to Palace, we played against Villa, and I was at that game, and we lost. Really nice experience. Yeah, exactly. Partey was right back. I think that is the game where Havertz played in the midfield or something like that. That is that infamous game as well. So I think it's that game, or might be the last year. Wait. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. That was that 2-0 game, wasn't it? Where we lost at home, wasn't it? Arsenal versus Villa. That was that 2-0 game where we lost to Villa, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the 2-0 game in April 2024. It was that 2-0 game, I think it was, where, yeah, Partey played right back, Havertz was in the midfield. That was the only loss we suffered when we went 16-1-1. That was that. That went well. Unfortunately, we can't trust this team to get the results when we must get the results. We win versus Newcastle, then we get the job versus Burnley or Sunderland, back to square one. Exactly. And that is the biggest thing. If you're a team that wants to win a title, you cannot drop points against lower-end relegation candidate sides. Yet Arsenal do that on a consistent basis. We are Santa Claus FC in that regard. And that is the biggest issue here. You can't, my potential line. Oh, sorry, my bad. Timber, no goalkeeper, I see. I'm just kidding. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Martinelli left back. Rise of Mendy, White. It's so messed up. What the hell is happening here? Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Martinelli, Rise of Mendy, White, Eze, Joker. This is also all sorts of messed up. My bad. I know. I get what you mean. Just like Arsenal doesn't make sense. The rest that resting. Well, sometimes you need it tough. Big up. Yeah, it's nuts. Like, to be honest, I mostly sleep about 3 to 5 hours a night. That's the most I get to sleep, pretty much every single day. At some point, obviously, the body is gonna say, "Hey, yo, dumbass, I need some sleep. So screw you. What you have planned for today, you're gonna sleep all day." And I guess that today was the day. Big up Sheldon. I don't think we capitalize, but people act like Liverpool can't lose. But yeah, that's the thing. Liverpool can lose, but unless we capitalize, it means nothing at the end of the day. Arsenal still has the Everton DNA. I think he just can't go head to head with Liverpool. Yeah, I think he's scarred from the times. He's scarred from the times when we were 2-0 up at Anfield. And we drew the game when obviously Zinchenko got nutmeg. He cried his eyes out and all this stuff. He's scarred from those days, and ever since then he has been hella defensive against them. It's either we slap Newcastle tomorrow, we get slapped in the midfield with Bruno and Joelinton. Yeah, Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, and we are gonna get run over easily. Big up Godfrey. I'm good. We know he will find a way too. Yeah, big up the community. Like and subscribe, people. Arteta takes it out on Gyökeres and Eze. The players love them. We've got these two to improve from last year, and Arteta shows no interest. Yeah, because he didn't want them. He didn't sign them. Arteta wanted Sesko and somebody else. He wanted something rather instead of Eze. Eze was a forced signing because Havertz got injured, and it was evident that Arteta didn't want him. And Gyökeres also wasn't one that he wanted. What's its face? Sesko. So it doesn't surprise me. If you are not on Arteta's blacklist, in the ledger of the blacklist, you're done for. We know what happens when we must win. Hopefully they'll shock us. Exactly. Big up Rodney. Big up Rodney. I have a feeling Arteta is going to drop points. It's the history of Arteta and of Arsenal as well to a certain extent, 100%. 20 likes, please. Yeah, people, 20 likes. If you haven't already, push it up to 25. Arteta, almost 7 years with 1 it's insane. Arteta has been for 7. It's going to be 6.5 years at the end of the season. $1 billion spent, 1 FA Cup to show for it. And that FA Cup came before he spent any money. He won that with Emery's team and Wenger's team. Go figure. We all know he'll find a way to piss us off and play the players they don't influence the game. Merino, Odegaard said, I think the midfield remains the same as Liverpool and Man City. Same. I think Merino starts tomorrow. Same. Wish Wenger had this kind of backing in terms of funds that Arteta has got. He would have won everything. Yeah, 100%. If Wenger had this type of money, if Wenger had billion, he would have won. The nuts part is Wenger was here for 22 years. He finished outside of top 4 twice. Arteta has been here for 6 years almost. He's finished outside of top 4 3 times. Arteta in these 6 years has spent billion. Wenger, over his 22 years, spent 1.2 billion, something like that. So they have spent pretty much the same amount. And compare what Wenger has done for Arsenal and what Arteta has done for Arsenal. Trust and Carrots FC. Yeah. Galloping across the pitch, finding some wild carrots. If we talk about, what's its face, Calafiori here. The best boss ever. Do you think Berta might sack Arteta? I think so. It might come to a point where Josh is thinking about it. Andrea Berta goes into his office with a list of the future managers and says, enough is enough. 1 billion spent this summer. I provided him with proper striker, proper numbers and everything. He refuses to use them properly. Here's the list. Make your choice. I'm gonna talk to them all, and gonna make a decision. Especially, Rodney, if we are about 10 points behind, or let's just say 8 points behind in December. Wenger didn't need type of money, didn't win him the second. Yeah, Wenger didn't need types of money because he actually had a talent ID. He had the mindset. He knew how to coach and manage the team. He had everything you need in the perfect manager. If he had this type of defense we have right now, he would have won much more, because one thing he a bit neglected was the defense, because, well, he had Koscielny and Vermaelen and Senderos and Squillaci, Giroud, Jenkinson, Chambers, and all these men. Emery got third in the Europe final. He fluffed it, but still, yeah. I hope we get Glasner from Palace. He already has experience with using Eze. True. He has won as well. He has won Europa League. He has won FA Cup as well. Like, he has done it. Arteta hasn't. Big up, Kwame. Big up, Kwame. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Hope all is good. And yeah, people, I think for today, we're going to lock it off. Tomorrow, of course, Arsenal versus Newcastle. After the game, 8 p.m. UK time, you bet your sweet cookie we are live. Whether we'll be happy, ranting, disappointed, pissed off, or basically screaming rainbows because we won, remains to be seen for everything. But yeah, for today, I'm going to be signing off. So if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. But for today, I am off. So enjoy football, enjoy your day tomorrow, and hopefully Arsenal actually manage to do something good for us. So yeah, big up you all, and see you all tomorrow. Peace.